And welcome back to Just Saying Podcast. I'm Mykige G.
Sal, your pal.
Amanda Camp.
We're all here.
For once.
Finally.
First episode altogether.
Ever.
I know.
Get
great.
excited.
We're all not busy on one day. Perfect.
For once.
Day off for me, day off for you, day off for Amanda.
Not really.
Never a day off for Amanda.
Nope.
But she's here.
Yeah, I know, it's great. I kind of was looking forward to all of us getting together eventually. So today we have the topic of crowdfunding. It's a very booming little industry on the internet these days.
Mm-hmm. It's actually been around for a couple years. Like Kickstarter, for example, has been around for years before it's been starting getting popular. It was made for like small businesses and like, you know, artists and people who want to start, you know, or get something funded.
Kind of give us a few examples, like what does it do? I'm pretty new to this. I mean, it's a really exciting thing.
For example, if I want to start a project, where it would be like a film, develop a video game, start a business, or like launch a product or create a product, I can put up a page on the internet through, you know, Kickstarter, IndieGoGo, or GoFundMe or whatever there are, how many there are out there.
There's plenty, yeah.
And I can ask for a certain amount of money, and how it works is you have like a limited amount of time to make the money, and when the period finishes, that's when you get all the money. If it doesn't reach the goal, then all the people get their money back. So like they can basically just give them money through like PayPal, through credit cards. I'm sure probably they accept Bitcoin somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if they accept Bitcoin yet, but
I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
No, that's gonna happen soon because eventually. I'm pretty sure PayPal is gonna be doing something with Bitcoin soon, so eventually be integrated.
Pretty soon.
Eventually, yeah.
It's happening pretty fast. How is it unique from like other methods of fundraising though? Like, how is it different from the traditional method of raising funds and getting a business or a project started?
You know, like it kind of cuts out the middleman a little. Well, it kind of does, you know.
Yeah.
It goes right from the consumer to the business or the person, you know, with the idea.
Yeah.
So, and they can be at any stage too. You know, they could be like just starting off, they have the idea and they're just talking in like a little campaign video, or they could have a product already and want to improve on it a little bit. You were saying earlier, like it's also a good tool to talk to the consumer.
Yeah. So you feel like you're a part of like the development process of like the product.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know, it's cool. So like they give you step by step. Like I funded a game from 2012, and like I'm getting like emails like every month of them saying, hey, by the way, here's how far along we've gone on the game. You guys, what do you think about it right now? You want to help us out, develop it? There's also like products I do. Like I know Oculus Rift was a big one on there. Headset. For sure. Yeah, have you seen the show like Shark Tank and like Dragon's Den?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually watched like both.
I watched both of them too. I love it.
Exactly. So people go on the show because they want, you know, money to fund their idea.
And these people invest in their ideas, except this is happening all online.
But now it's just random people on the internet, yeah.
It just seems like an online community. It's awesome. I've seen it firsthand, like through my program. A lot of people in my program had a lot of community projects that they were beginning to kind of, you know, put together and organize, and they used GoFundMe to do that. And they were really successful for it.
I just, while doing research, I found out about GoFundMe. It seems like, we have Kickstarter for, like, businesses, or for a lot of stuff. Most of them have different, like, categories, but...
Yeah, they had literally everything from food to music to art to everything.
For sure.
Even charity stuff, too.
Yeah.
So, like, GoFundMe is like a charity one. Then you have Kickstarter that covers all grounds. Then you have IndieGoGo. It seems more music-oriented. Patreon also has its other categories, but it seems also a little bit more oriented towards the arts and, like, the film and music as well. Like, back to what Amanda was saying, the GoFundMe, they have one for fundraisers, like, for charities and stuff like that. Like, I think that's great.
There's somebody that I know, one of my good friends has another friend who was trying to raise some money to get some medical treatments in the States because, well, of course, it's not something that's funded here. It was for Lyme disease. And I actually, like, went through the process of watching the video, like, reading their testimony and whatnot. And I actually, like, had met this person before. And I was able to go through the process of donating money myself and, like, putting $25 towards it. You know, a little bit goes a long way. Again, a lot of people from my program did this and use this tool to kind of kickstart their projects, and they were successful with it. I mean, especially with like people having personal networks and connections, like sharing it through social media, word of mouth, and whatnot. It's booming.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, I love the idea. You know,
it's great.
A lot of things like wouldn't have happened without like them kickstarting before. Like you have to go to like a record label or like a a publisher and pitch them the idea in a closed door meeting kind of idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's just like we can go to the internet. It's like, hey guys, do you want this? And it's another way for like companies to figure out, okay, what do people like? What are people like trying to do? The recent podcast me and Mike did, we were talking about a bunch of guys got together who used to work on this old video game, and they got back together because they want to make a game in that style. And every like business person that like ever like that they brought the idea to, they shot them down and said no one would ever want that kind of game. They want to play shooters. And they put it up on Kickstarter, and it got funded in like half an hour because everyone wants that game. Like I know a lot of people who would want to play that game. You know a lot of people who want to play that game, but like, you know, a lot of people are out of touch. Like a lot of
I feel like
corporate people.
I feel like these kinds of like sites and like tools give a lot of like underdogs the chance to actually have a chance
exactly.
in being successful. And a lot of them are, clearly. Like, you're seeing, like, the process of them, like, growing as, like, businesses or, like, projects or, you know, as musicians, like, artists and whatnot. It's really, 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 like, cool to see and learn about.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like...
I love the idea.
Yeah.
What you were saying, Sal, back up about the, you know, instead of them going to, like, a company that's, like, you know, more oriented towards, like, a shooter, or they want, like, a game like that... This gives other companies that want to do something different a chance to ask the people that want that.
And it shows that there's a demand. Yeah,
and
exactly.
It shows the demand as well. Yeah, like, I thought that was cool. I really saw that with the yooka-laylee one that we talked about.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Man, did you know about this?
I noticed that.
Vaguely.
Do you remember Banjo-Kazooie, the game from N64?
Yeah, of course I remember Banjo-Kazooie. It was raised off that.
Like,
and Donkey Kong 64?
Yeah, I remember.
And
all
GoldenEye?
that.
Well, the guys from there are making a new game, and it's all them, and it got funded in half an hour. What's it at now?
No.
What is it at now?
yeah, like...
Oh, do you want to pause the podcast and show the video? Okay, we're back. We had to show Amanda the
That was
ukulele thing.
really sweet.
Oh, yeah, so also on Kickstarter, I noticed a couple projects for like 3D printers and stuff like that. They'll have like a consumer grade one for your house. They'll also have like a engineer, architect like oriented one where you...
No way.
Yeah, so one would be like... So the consumer one would be like, okay, I broke my spatula. I'm going to 3D print my spatula instead of going to the store. Cause I could
So you could literally like make your own spatula.
Yeah, like you would you know AutoCAD?
Yeah.
So you would make like a 3D model of it in like that program, or actually the consumer one that I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
Has its own software that is really easy to use, so you don't have to learn AutoCAD because that's kind of complicated. And you know, you make the little 3D objects, and,
That's where it's going though. Man. Like
This is the future.
If you talk to someone like 20 years ago and be like, "Hey man, in the future you're not gonna have to buy like vinyl CDs. It's all gonna like deliver. It'll all come to your house."
You would laugh.
Yeah.
You'd be
like,
laughing.
"Yeah, I gotta go to the store and buy a CD.
But just think about the things that, like, even like 20 years ago, things that we have now that we didn't have then, and it's like completely like different.
Yeah, but that's a whole different podcast.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, we can talk about that all day.
Also, another thing that's trending, it seems, are smartwatches.
The Pebble Watch was the original smartwatch, and then other ones came out, and then Apple was like, "Hey, we see that there's demand for it." Steve Jobs is dead, so he couldn't have foresaw this.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and make an Apple Watch.
Yeah,
Okay.
so with the 3D printers, like that's a trend. Like there's many other things. There's a card game that we saw.
Oh yeah.
Exploding Kittens.
They asked for $10,000 and it got
they're-
funded $8 million.
They're millionaires now. They're pocketing whatever they made.
Another thing we have to talk about is stretch goals. So when they start to do the Kickstarter, there's like a main goal. So it's like, here's what I want to deliver, and I'll deliver that if I hit this goal. But if I make more money, I'll add on to that. What were some of the stretch goals for the Exploding Kitten ones? Do you remember?
There wasn't too many. There's only a couple. There's only a few. Like there's a lot more for that ukulele one I noticed. But one of them was like they'll make a standalone version, like a game version instead of like a physical card game.
Okay.
That's pretty sweet.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, like it's there's not much more you could add in stretch goals for that game because when you watch the campaign video, it was pretty much done. Like they had the card game already done. They're showing you how to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like
so they just need money to produce it, basically.
I'm sure they didn't expect to make $8 million off of it when they were asking for 10 grand.
Yeah, like
so
10 grand is so low, Like,
yeah. Well, I saw the percentage of it. It was like 8,000% of like
87,000% funded.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're not only is their product like soaring, like they're doing amazing, but like
I couldn't believe
holy
that.
crap, they're
Yeah.
millionaires.
Yeah. Another thing is, though, if you fund a certain amount of money, when the product comes out, you automatically get the product.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are throwing money at it because they see it as pre-ordering.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like
it's the ultimate tool for marketing, honestly.
It's true,
That's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
smartest way to do it right now, and
Exactly.
it's hot. It's a hot topic. It's just gonna keep getting bigger, 100%.
oh yeah,
Like this is just my opinion, but like when you see all those stretch goals, like for like some say for games too, like
Yeah.
if you see all the stretch goals in front of you and they hit those goals as the campaign goes, that kind of builds hype. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
incorporate something from Banjo-Kazooie into the new ukulele. Wow, I'm excited now. Oh, they hit all the goals. Okay, this game, like like it builds hype.
You know
the
what?
game's
You know
gonna
what
be
kind of
awesome.
product you're gonna get.
Yeah, you know what
yeah.
you're getting yourself into. You know what you're paying for.
like for a game I funded, one of the stretch goals was to have like a famous composer on there, and they hit that, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's going to be a part of this, so the game's going to be good." You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. When you fund a campaign on like
Yeah.
any of these websites, so they offer little packages. You know, like maybe at first you fund $5, they'll give you they'll send you an email saying thank you. You fund if it's like
I think that's with everyone.
yeah, it's with everyone. It's part of it. Like it's a reason for you to you get something back for giving them money. So
Yeah.
like when you get to a certain amount of money, depending on the product, like a game might be like $40. So once you pay over like $40, they'll give you a physical or a digital copy.
Yeah, with an art book and
Yeah.
soundtrack. Yeah.
And like for back to the 3D printing, for the consumer grade one, it was like $250. If you gave them that much, you were like one of the first people to get one. The one that's more marketed towards the engineers, if you wanted one of the first made ones when it sells, it was like $2,500. So like obviously all the packages are different. You know, like Yooka-Laylee had, what was that one? It was like 5,000 euros. And you get to like flown out to Germany where the music was made, and there's like a big orchestra that you get to go
yeah.
play in front of. And the one before
awesome.
that was like 3,500 euros, and you
yeah.
get to be in the game as a character. You get coached by the people. So there's like
Perks.
Yeah, the perks are endless. You can think of anything, you know. That's what I like about it. Like they're just like every time you go to a crowdfunding one, the perks are like whatever you like.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you give to them is It's
exactly.
always different. It's cool.
See, like crowdfunding is great because a lot of things like would not have existed without it. I think I've said that before, but I'll say it again. But I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel
So-
like this is the breeding ground for like a whole different crowd of subcultures, like music, like
Yeah.
games, like I don't know. It's just
Really, with
it's cool.
it's the future basically.
For sure, because it's like your product, whatever kind of like group of people it's marketed towards, you're trying to reach out to those people directly instead of
Yeah.
looking for like a company to help you do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's more efficient because you're going from the business person, the person that's coordinating the entire product that you're trying to market and fund. You're going from that part of it to the consumer directly. It's genius.
If someone wants to put their money towards something, then it's clearly they really want that product.
No,
so,
of course, yeah.
You know,
You're getting the money from people that really want the product.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, movies, a movie comes out, this many people go to see it. They usually use that number to figure out who's going to see the second one, but that's an inaccurate number because what if they don't want to see the second one? You know what I mean?
True,
Yeah.
So it's like more accurate because now they can see like, okay, so here's the percentage of demand that are looking for this. Have we talked about Patreon? Because Patreon is a totally different kind of thing.
Yeah, so like Patreon is like instead of paying like one time, like someone that I fund on Patreon who is Grimecraft, he's an artist. He has like a Twitch podcast. Like he has like he does like live music on it. So what he does is he'll have goals on his Twitch. Like he recently got a streaming PC. And so the new goal is $1,000, and that will be on his Patreon, like advertised as like, oh, to help me fund my my Twitch show, Grimecraft and Friends. So instead of giving him like one-time payment of like $5, he offers different packages of monthly payments. So if you pay like $1 a month, that you subscribe to him to pay $1 a month, you'll get like his access to his vault, hear music, early.
Yeah.
You pay $10 more, you get like an advance in his music, so you get to hear it before it's posted on the internet.
That's cool.
You pay $20 or more a month. You get to invited to like a pizza party. Like people, yeah, you could tell. Like I was saying, like people make up different perks.
That's cool. So like you're basically like you're giving him $1 a month.
Yeah, it's
So,
like
you're giving him a salary, so it's patronage, I guess.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
where the name
Yeah,
comes from.
it's like to keep his idea or whatever he's doing going, like
Yeah.
a business, whatever like plan he's got going.
It's a fresh new way of being a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know like YouTubers, like a lot of YouTubers, they don't make a lot of money unless they have like 1 million subscribers. Like for the ones that only have like 100,000 subscribers, they can't make money off it. So if they can get a Patreon And like the Patreon will show like demand. Like if people like what they're doing, then they'll send them money. So he's like, oh, okay, here's my motivation and here's my money, so I can quit my day job and do this full time, and people would want to do that.
There's a demand for it for sure. Yeah, like if you have a big enough fan base and like you offer something back to them, yeah, I can see that working for sure. That's like Twitch now with all the donations.
Yeah.
You know how it works now, like. You can just go on Twitch, get donations constantly, and
like if there's like let's say like I watch like a lot of like a YouTuber or a guy who posts like a lot of stuff on SoundCloud, and he puts out a Patreon, and like if I know he's like, you know, if he's having like, you know, if that's all he's doing, putting so much time, because I understand how much time goes into like YouTube and like producing stuff like that, so like I would maybe give him like $1 a month, just like to show that, hey, like I like what you do, keep doing what you do.
Oh, yeah. For sure. That's why I did it. I was like, man, I really like what you do, your music. Every Sunday I watch your Twitch. So, yeah, for sure I'll give you $1 a month. Not a problem. Like, yeah, exactly. If you're giving me your music for free, like, or, well, not for free, but for $1 a month, I get, like, a lot of his music. Yeah. Why not, instead of paying, like, $5 one time for an EP or, I don't know, it's pretty cool.
There's different perks to different needs.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so another one that I've came across, and like you said, Kickstarter. Like you said earlier, like you found Kickstarter like a couple years ago. Like,
so Kickstarter was around for a while. GoFundMe is like charity. Patreon is like monthly payments and stuff.
And then IndieGoGo is the same thing as like Kickstarter.
Okay.
And GoFundMe, like they have a goal, or they have goals and stretch goals.
Yeah.
And you give them money whatever they have a certain amount of time. But a lot of it seems to be more music oriented. So one example was a couple years ago, Protest the Hero. This was kind of like a more successful story.
Yeah, they're a band. Yeah,
they're a band from Mississauga, Ontario, and they hit they're local, and they hit international success. You know, so because they have international success, that's why they were so successful with the crowdfunding off IndieGoGo. So yeah, they asked for like $150,000. And they got like almost $400,000, and because of that, they were able to, you know, record their own album
without the record label. Yeah,
DIY and everything like that. Yeah, like that. I thought that was really cool. You know,
I love it because it's like the people are like trying to like say, yeah, screw the record labels. Let's like we want this music and we'll do it, because in the past it was like the record label would discover this band, throw money at the band, and then they would have to like make a certain amount of money to pay back the record label. How did it work?
Like whenever you get like a record deal, they give you an amount of money. So it's kind of a loan to pay for like your studio time, your record, producing your record, your merch, whatever you need to promote yourself as a band. And if you don't really make any sales in records and your music, then it's kind of hard if you don't hit mainstream success, it's hard for you to pay that back. So like people who are mainstream big, they don't have a problem. They get that record deal, their music's mainstream big, they make all that money, so they could pay back those debts, and then from there they start, you know, making more money and stuff like that. Yeah. But like for little bands like this example, but a lot of bands these days that get signed, you know, they don't have a huge record deals, like multi-million deals, but a lot of them, you know, have like maybe $500,000 deals, and it's kind of hard to pay for if you're like a low-key underground band, you're not too mainstream.
I was just gonna say, like, it was pretty cool, like watching the video that Protest the Hero kind of put together to pitch their cause or what they wanted to do. It was kind of cool to see them break down the whole process of like the difference between getting their money through a record label and doing it themselves, and how much more effective it would be and how much better their product would be, which clearly it was, like based off of like the facts. Like what was the aftermath of this outcome?
I remember so they ended up getting the drummer of Lamb of God because of all the money they funded. The album was actually like really well recorded when I listened to it. Nice. In the end, they got Razor and Tie Records to support them and help them publish the records and get their records out there. So they did kind of end up going with the label in the end. But
why they do that?
I don't know. It's okay. But like their album was really good. Like their drummer left at the time, so like they had enough money now to get the drummer from Lamb of God, Chris, I think his name. I don't know his last name, but it was a good album. You know, they had like some support from a label in the end, and
it's cool. And that record would have never happened without the crowdfunding. That's awesome. It would have
never have if they didn't have support from their fans at first.
Yeah, because no record label would want that. But now that people have shown interest, now their people are.
For sure.
Now the record label's like, oh, okay.
You have to keep in mind with this success story, is probably more of the well-known ones out of IndieGoGo. they were 3 albums deep. They were internationally known. So like if you're a band with a sound, you know, you have a little bit of a following, you might only get support from like a certain percentage of your small following. Like these guys are international, like around the world. So they had like they had people from all over the world helping them support them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they were so successful and stuff like that. Like I'm sure if a local band that has maybe like 2K on SoundCloud or, you know, has an album on Bandcamp, if they were to do this, if they had a realistic goal of like $5,000 just to get some new equipment to help them record their new album, they might reach it. But if they're asking for like $100,000 to help record a professional album, you know, your small fan base might not help you support that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was just like a 2 cents.
All right, now obviously there's a lot of perks to crowdfunding.
Yeah, there's good things,
many of them. There's so many positives and really, really amazing success stories that we've heard and
we just touched on
read
all
up on and whatnot and did research. But of course, to every successful story, there's got to be downfalls. What's the catch here?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of catches, and
Yes.
Actually, Kickstarter has been taking a nosedive in form of like respectability in a long time. See, the thing with the crowdfunding is they don't actually get their money until it's successful, and since it's all credit card based, like a lot of those payments won't go through. So like there's a lot of like funded but unfunded kind of like Kickstarters.
What, you think someone would try funding something with like a maxed credit card?
You
maybe?
you could go onto a random thing, like have like a prepaid credit card and put in like $1,000. You want to put in $1,000 as like a joke, and that'll just inflate the numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a thing that they haven't gone around.
Wait, so you can't. It doesn't stop you if you don't have the money. You know how like sometimes...
No, it doesn't stop you. It all funds it when it goes through. You didn't know that?
when it goes through, it takes the money from
Yeah,
you?
yeah, then it goes
Oh my God,
and-
that's so stupid.
Oh.
It is. That's a big downfall.
I'll have to sound like a dumb one here because I'm the newbie here.
Yeah.
But if anything, okay, wait a minute. Say I wanted to fund $100 towards a project or a musician that I saw on Kickstarter or something like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be taken off my credit card until the actual period was done or they hit their goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
So, for example, if this ended after 60 days and I did it on day 3, I would have to wait 57 days for my credit card to be billed.
The website will take your credit card information, all that stuff, and then when it's all successful, then it bills everyone.
So it wouldn't take my money until
But it won't
it's
take the money.
successful.
Yeah. So if your credit card gets stolen and you call and you like cancel it, like you'll get an email from like Kickstarter or whatever saying, hey, this is what's going on.
Okay.
But then that stops like everything for like the guy who put up the page.
Yeah.
So like that yooka-laylee thing, if like when I hit successful, because there's so many people who like backed it, like they're guaranteed there's some people who are not gonna like the payments are not gonna go through because that's how everything works, you know.
Yeah, there's always a chance, of course. Yeah.
I backed a documentary for like $1 because I had a prepaid credit card and I had $1 left on it, but I didn't know, but like the dollar kind of went away or something, or like it expired. So then I got an email, and then I got an email from like from the guys, because they don't know who it was whose credit card didn't go through. So he's kind of the guy was panicking too, because he's like, oh my gosh, we're almost there, but we're not. So I had to put up my own credit card and give him the $1. I could have just given more at that point, but whatever. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a big downfall. Another thing is...
Wait, hold on 1 sec. Yeah, that reminded me of something. I was watching the new episodes of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, it's a funny show.
It turns out that they weren't getting funded as much as they thought. So the main character Dinesh needed he invested $5,000 of his money into his cousin's little app that's on Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. But it turns out he needed that money, so he's going to like the big party, the launch party, right before the stretch goal is like over.
Yeah.
Or right before the goal hits 50,000 timer. And he's going around to the party telling people like, oh yeah, you shouldn't fund this. He's like talking down. He's like, oh yeah, you know, if you fund this, you might get like cancer. I don't know. He's talking it down super. It's an HBO show. Like it's pretty.
Yeah, it's all it's all fictional, but it's so funny though.
But like he needed that $5,000, and then it turns out literally at the last second of the timer, it just gets $100. And it hits the $50,000 goal, and he lost the $5,000 that he invested. And it was so funny. Like
That's awesome.
It's his own cousin, and he's just trying to like talk it down, get his $5,000 back.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
Anyways.
Yeah. And another thing is, a lot of people think that you're an investor in the idea or like the company that you're not investing in anything. You're throwing your money blindly at them.
Yeah.
So like they could just literally like in the case of like we were talking about this before the podcast with the exploding kittens, like they just needed $10,000. So they're going to use that $10,000 or probably less of it to do what they wanted to do, and the rest, like what, $7 million, they can do whatever they want with it. You know, they can pocket it. They can.
You basically, like these people just became millionaires.
Yeah.
When like they didn't have to be, but they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's basically like showing people. It's like, okay, if you have an idea, and because there's people out there who'll throw their money blindly at stuff. Like I only support like the things that are believable. You know, I don't like to throw money at like things that show red flags. You know,
of
like
course.
a guy is like, hey, I have this idea that I want to build a building or a car.
Yeah, that's the thing. It depends on the campaign video.
Yeah, I know nothing about building cars.
I want to actually see the product and see it like being put in use or see it like being put in action before I actually even consider giving them $1 or any time of my day to kind of even look into it.
It's even like on Dragon's Den. Like they all have to patent their stuff before they go on TV because someone can take that idea and be like, oh, okay.
Oh, you need to have your ducks in a line for sure.
Yeah, so I'm assuming the same thing would be with this, but like the people who don't know that, they're gonna put up their idea and like someone else is gonna steal it. And
another thing too, we were looking into this with Kickstarter. The actual website itself, whatever total donations that person receives, they take a certain percentage of your actual funds.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So for
services.
Kickstarter in Canada, they take 5% of your earnings. So if you raise $10,000, they're going to take 5%, which means they take $500 off your total earnings.
That's a lot of money, though.
Which is a lot of money, and that $500 can make a huge. That could put a huge dent in your plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, mind you, they're probably extremely successful for those $1 million like success stories that we've clearly just talked about.
Yeah.
So they're millionaires, like they're laughing, like they have all of this extra income coming in just because people are funding these projects, which is, I mean, it's good still, but
I'm sure like all these like little campaigns and stuff, I'm sure they consider the percentage, you know, like they probably always consider that percentage. They make that known.
Oh yeah.
I think that's why they gauge, like that's why it's so high sometimes. It's like, okay, we need 100,000, but I need 175,000 just to like to kind of like recoup because we're aiming for that tax bracket.
Yeah.
And they even show that in some rundown. So it's like, okay, so this percentage is going to the tax, which is like to the website that we're using. So there was a point where like Kickstarter was kind of a joke, and what that really happened when someone posted I guess a joke kind of Kickstarter for they wanted to make a bowl of potato salad, and they raised like I think the goal was like $10 or something, and the guy raised like $40,000.
That's hilarious.
And like that's everyone. I guess everyone just thought it was a joke, so they threw money at it. And one of his stretch goals was like his last stretch goal actually was to rent out a hall and invite everyone in to like for him to like eat the potato salad.
Oh, so now he actually has to rent a hall and make a potato salad for people to eat.
Well, he only needed $10, so he's gonna get all this money, and I don't know what he's doing with it. But it was a joke. It was like a joke. It was a gag.
No,
and people were like, haha, yeah, I'll throw money at that.
Psych.
Yeah, there's probably tons of little like stupid things like that.
Oh yeah, right after that though, like if you went on Kickstarter right after that, everyone's like, oh, okay, I want to make a pizza. I want to make dinner tonight. I want to make the hot dogs. I want to make cookies.
It just became like a joke.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I need
everyone's
a
like,
new car.
Yeah, everyone's like, let's try and see because people I guess a dumb person who knows nothing about it would be like,
sure.
So someone's making $40,000 for potato salad.
Oh, someone ignorant.
I can do that too because I see that it's a possible
easy
thing.
Money. Yeah,
there's demand for that.
Like you were saying, like you're about the respectability of the website. It seems like because of that, it's kind of like you have to respect the purpose of the website. Like taking it, obviously there's people that are going to do that. You can't help it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That can only work, in my opinion. I feel like that can only work for so long. Like only a few people can do that at first, and after a while, like people are going to catch on and realize, like, okay, this is stupid. Like if
you're mocking us,
you're mocking us. Yeah, they should at least prevent that.
So that stopped a long time ago. I think,
which is good.
And Kickstarter now, I think they've revamped their like guidelines so that they can actively take down those.
Well, I'm sure they need
ones.
a screening process.
Before it was like open to anyone.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But now it's like, okay, that's a stupid idea to put up a Kickstarter.
Yeah, now that we have all this traffic on our website, we gotta limit it to like the actual like people
Has
who
to be
want to use
legit.
it.
Because clearly they have a
people.
market and they have a target group of people that they're trying to bring in. They don't
Yeah.
want to have people like question their credibility because we have people trying to raise $10 for potato salad and other people think that they can egg on it. Like,
Yeah, and they see
No.
that, and that like loses like that just gives like bad negative like press to them because they're like, oh, so people are doing that on your website? That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, of course.
People are dying of hunger, and one guy wants to make a bowl of potato salad and for $10, and it's so stupid.
These websites have been around for a while. Like they develop a reputation, so it seems like Kickstarter is kind of like, going away from that. I've actually haven't come across like a stupid little goal or a campaign that yet.
True.
Like it seems now it's more. Okay, everyone knows what Kickstarter is about. It's like if you have a legit idea, put it on
now it's
here.
legit. Yeah, like there's people that would like they want to buy a car. Like I'm sure if you search Mustang or something on Kickstarter, there'll be like one or two people who just put it up like 2 minutes ago saying, "I want to buy a car because I need a car."
Yeah, always keep in mind
It's
though.
stupid.
Always keep in mind though, like if it's a stupid idea,
Don't fund it.
it's not gonna it's not gonna get funded and it won't reach its goal. Then your money, like
You're gonna get your
it's
money
fine.
back. Yeah.
There's so many failed Kickstarters that it's like, yes, that's good that you failed.
Yeah, like I was looking at a percentage. It was like 44% of all campaigns on the website have actually fully been pledged.
Which is a really, really good odd.
a high odd,
Considering
yeah,
it's a
almost
new thing that's just starting to gain hype, 44% is huge. Considering
that's
they have
great.
all of these different projects. Like, awesome.
For sure, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you can tell that like Kickstarter definitely is like the better like website out of all of them.
Definitely one of the more credible ones.
More
yeah.
credible ones, yeah, for sure. That's like the go-to one. I like how Patreon, like they didn't, they're crowdfunding, but they do it in their own way. Like you can do monthly crowdfunding. I like how they changed it up a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah.
And you can cut it off whenever you want. You can make one payment, and then halfway into the second month, you can cut it off, and
You can do like a payment plan.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Like you can like cut it off halfway into the second month, and then at the end of that month, you don't have to pay that dollar. Like you can just, it's kind of like Netflix. You can get on and off whenever you want.
I feel like this is gonna I just feel like this is gonna be a whole different I don't know.
I think
it's
it
gonna be like a
already
whole
is.
different ground for entrepreneurs.
I think it's already like that.
Yeah.
People were probably thinking that like years ago when it first came out. It's like, oh, this is gonna be like the go-to like option for a startup company.
Yeah.
And it looks like that. Like the success that I'm seeing off it lately, like. Sorry, the one that's just got me like shocked is like yooka-laylee.
Yooka-laylee.
Yeah.
that is the fastest funded Kickstarter to date.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
The last one was Reading Rainbow. Sorry.
Oh, so was it actually? I didn't
Reading
know.
Rainbow was for the longest time the fastest or the most funded or fastest funded Kickstarter.
Do you know what hyped that? The episodes of Community when the Reading Rainbow guy was on there.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
happened?
I don't know if it's for a fact, but you know what? Like I was watching Community, and they brought the Reading Rainbow guy on. There's a little bit of an episode about it, and then all of a sudden, like a year later, I see that there's a funded project for Reading Rainbow to bring it back.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But anyways,
But the thing is though, oh, were you gonna say sorry?
it just got more money right now. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's going up. It's going up like crazy.
So like 4 days in, and it's at 1.4 million euros. Like 4 days in, it's got 41 days to go. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy that happened.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because I only played those games when I was a kid.
And weren't we saying earlier too, like these people went to actual investors, actual
Yeah.
companies to
Oh.
pitch this idea and they laughed.
They laughed in
and now
their
they
face.
went to this sort of website, Kickstarter, and they asked the fans, and within a day
Within half an hour.
within half an hour, they literally
Hey, do you know what's funny?
multiplied their goal by 10.
You know what's funny? Those companies now are probably gonna go back to them and be like,
They're gonna be like, yeah,
hey.
so yeah, you wanna make some more for us? Okay.
Hey, do you want to put that under our name? Do you
yeah.
want us to publish that for you?
Oh, of course,
You know,
because they want to
See?
take the credit for this.
See, this is a whole tipping
Oh my
point because
God.
now like hopefully people are gonna stop buying these stupid shooters like these Call of Duties, and they're gonna buy more of these like adventure, like roaming kind of like adventure games, because adventure games are so much better for like a child's mind and development.
Oh, for
like the
sure,
spatial
yeah.
kind of like stuff, you know.
I
Yeah, that would
agree
actually- that would-
110%.
That's what made me like better thinker, because I'm always like, okay,
I can see that helping a
you know.
kid develop like spatial structuring skills. At a young
exactly.
age. I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Yeah.
constant like stimulation, like all the things going on in a game at once.
Well,
I could definitely see that.
it's definitely more stimulating than a Call of Duty game in a lot of better
Yeah.
positive ways.
Call of Duty is like point A to point B, and everything is like
Yeah.
everyone goes that same route.
This is better for kids, I suppose.
Another downfall, that's a huge downfall, is that when they do get the money, like I said with the exploding kittens thing, they could deliver like the product or service, or they won't deliver the product, or they can't deliver the product or service. Like there's been other Kickstarters where like the people have come out and said, okay guys, we blew through all the money, we totally didn't plan for this right, and we're all broke. This thing isn't happening. We're sorry. And like all the people that threw money at that, it's just like they just lost their money.
Yeah.
And they got nothing from it.
Do you remember what that was?
The guy who made the game Fable was creating a game, and I guess it was so intricate that they didn't realize how intricate it was, and then they needed more money, but they didn't have more money. So you're not gonna put up a second Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Because that would look really, really bad.
Yeah, you would get like no.
Yeah, so like they just got hit, and they're just like, yeah, it's not happening, and then that's it. They're just like, yeah, it's not happening, and they all just return to like their lives.
Yeah,
And the
crazy.
internet's like, what the swear?
What the
Can you blame them?
Yeah,
No.
because you don't have a guarantee that it's going to happen. Like even all these ones that I funded, like even the one I was talking to you about earlier, the game, the Hat in Time game. One of their stretch goals was to have a composer on. But now, for some reason, the composer's like, "Yep, this is totally not working for me," because they were supposed to make 7 songs for this game, and only made 2. And then he's like, "Okay, you know, we can't do this anymore."
Bye.
So yeah, that's it, and that's it. It's like okay. And actually, recently, I just got one of the emails, and like one of their goals was to like release the game on consoles, on video game consoles other than the computer, the PC.
Yeah.
And now that's not happening because they realize like, okay, we don't know how to do this. And we would need more money, so we're just not going to do that at all.
And again, this is another
So-
huge reason why you really need to look at
That's a
what you're
big deal.
funding.
Yeah.
Like you really need to know what you're funding and know that what you're giving money towards is actually going to follow through and become a thing and become an actual product, and that you're
Yeah.
going to get something out of it.
Like they need to have like a step-by-step, point-by-point like breakdown of everything they're doing with the money.
Yeah.
Because if they run out of money, then there's nothing's going to happen. And there's like a lot of stupid Kickstarters where it's like, okay, why don't you just go do that yourself? Why don't you front your own money? If you're really passionate about this idea, then you can, work a job and save money and do it yourself.
Easier said than done.
But yeah, I know there's there's points like that, but like a lot of them, like me, Mike, me and you were talking about later, like a lot of people just want to get paid for their efforts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
It seems like that with some of them.
yeah, pretty much. You sit there and you think like, okay, why do you need all this money if like you're sitting there already making a game on a computer? But yeah, like you said, they want to get paid for their efforts, paid for their time. Because
Yeah.
realistically, if you're working for a company, your time is like you're getting paid by the hour
Yeah,
for your
sure.
work.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe they have to pay rent. I don't know.
Yeah, there's probably office spaces. You probably have to consider like everything really.
It's important to do your research.
Okay.
Like another thing is like let's say like a project is successfully funded and it doesn't happen. Like legally you can't sue them for the money because it's not a legal thing.
Because you were already aware of the consequences.
'Cause, yeah,
They have
yeah.
everything laid out there.
It's all in the terms of service and everything. So you're not actually investing. You're just kind of just throwing money at it.
Yep.
And that's the sad part. It's like even these things I've threw money at, like I know like it might not happen, or it might not happen exactly how they said,
But
which will hurt their credibility if they go and do something else in the same idea. Like even with like Oculus Rift, the headset, they ended up selling it to Facebook for like what, $5 billion or $2 billion. Like it's like, okay, so
Yeah,
we helped you, like we helped you get from the bottom to the top, and now you're just gonna cash out. Like okay, all right.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, see, yeah, that like you said, that kind of situation.
You only put $10 on it, Mike.
Yeah,
Come on.
I just want the digital copy.
Come on.
I don't need anything else.
Come on, yooka-laylee.
still, that's pretty
Banjo-Kazooie.
sweet. Now you can actually say that you took part in funding this thing that is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like $20 gets me, or $15 gets me a digital copy down. Like,
Did I tell you what I pledged?
oh yeah, what'd you pledge for that?
I pledged like $100.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm getting the soundtrack. I'm getting the manual. I'm getting the art book. I'm getting the
Serious?
physical copy and
Only
shrink
you?
wrap.
Only you.
Oh, I'm so excited.
True, I should have read that. The soundtrack. Maybe if I paid $10 more, I would have got the soundtrack.
And I explained it to my parents. I explained it to my mom and dad, and they're like, just $100. They're like, why would you spend more?
Well, because they know like Banjo-Kazooie is
Like, why would you only spend $100? I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought you guys would be like, I think I'm an idiot for doing this.
Anything else that we'll go over?
So yeah, that was our podcast on crowdfunding. If you guys like what you heard, then send us feedback.
Feedback is definitely appreciated.
Feedback is
necessary.
You know, hit me or Sal up on Twitter.
So yeah, Twitters are in the description, so we don't have to announce it.
Don't follow me on Twitter. I don't go on.
Don't follow Amanda on Twitter
Do
because
not.
she doesn't.
I'm like in the process of deleting it.
She doesn't like Twitter. But going forward, hopefully we can get more, structured topic podcasts like this.
Oh, of course.
We're slowly getting better.
And in the near future, there will be more Amanda, Sal, and Mike
All together.
together.
Can we confirm that?
We're confirming this.
Yes.
We can confidently confirm this. This
Okay.
is happening. So
we gotta we all gotta set like a date where it's like, okay, so Thursday night or Monday night or Tuesday night. I think Tuesdays are better for me.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
Let's all get
Tuesdays are best
together.
for me right now.
But thanks for tuning in. Hit us up on Twitter, and we'll keep you posted on updates and updates to the podcast, updates to our social media and everything like that.
Yes.
Twitter account coming soon. Facebook page coming soon.
Yep.
Keep posted for announcements on future interviews.
Yeah.
And future topics on the show.
If someone posts this episode on Facebook, just like it. That's all you gotta do. That'll help out.
Just show us some kind of support. I mean, we're just here to keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simple.
And tell us what you want to hear too as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Start a discussion. Yeah.
We'll definitely have a viewer panel.
Of course.
A podcast eventually.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you had a bunch of emails, if people send in questions.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we do that?
That'd be
Honestly,
cool.
probably one of my favorite parts of being a part of this podcast is the discussion about getting different opinions from 3 different people and interviews and hearing about different topics. Because again, we're just average people, everyday people with different opinions about similar things.
Yes.
I think we're good.
All right, thanks a
Yes.
lot for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Adios.
See ya.
Sal, your pal, Mikey G, Amanda Camps. Keep posted.
Just saying.
Just
Out.
saying.
Oh, yeah, we should say it.
I'm Banjo. Whoa!